just to put a question on your side, like how many people, and may I know your domains, please? Can you just uh, actually it's blocking the screen. Okay, so what is blocking the screen? So I think from my side, I'm not able to switch off the camera of Andrew. Maybe someone can pinch in, maybe someone nearby him or something.
Yeah, we
Okay,
have
so
messaged him, but he's not responding.
okay. So even I
Can you
spoke it
just kick
out.
him
Like,
off?
okay, let me ping it over here. Andrew, can you rejoin with camera off? So let me excuse him. Okay, so I think Andrew left it out. Yeah. So I hope now it's fine, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is a lot better. It's fine now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, like, just to put a question on your side, like, just you can ping it on the chat, like, what domain or what technology you work on, like, say, just trying to understand, like, what type of group we are into it, okay, so that I can take the session in that way. So, just quickly, like a minute or two, like, if you can put it, like, whoever has access for the inbox, just type in, like, say, what your domain and technology that you work into it, so it would be great. Okay. Okay, healthcare and using Cypress. Okay, so healthcare domain, Selenium, Java. Okay, that's great. Okay, so any other more? Maybe let's give us like 10 more fillings, like say Cypress. Okay, Safe is in Cypress already. Okay, so all manual testing, Hamilton. Okay, that's great. So actually now slowly like market is moving towards manual actually, so that's what the fact. Okay, 9 plus years manual. Okay, that's great. Okay, so just another question. So maybe who are is working in Cyprus, like say, how good are you in Cyprus? Maybe what you did. Can you share your experience for a bit? Maybe a minute or two. Again, we'll give a time. Maybe you can unmute yourself, or you can also ping it in the chat. It will be useful. So Ram
Uh,
cook.
Hi,
Ram,
Arvind. I'm Apurva.
yeah.
So I work for a healthcare domain. So I started learning Cypress using some of the websites. But initial the login itself it got failed because of some scripts. Like it is asking for the Microsoft, like my company, which I am using the testing for the testing purpose, the portal. It asks for the Microsoft login. So the script is the script which I am not using is not sufficient for the Microsoft login. So I got stuck up there, and there is no other solution for the Microsoft solution. I searched everywhere. So that's the reason for me. I'm interested to join this. Like it
Okay.
blocked me in the initial phase itself.
Is it okay? Is it solved now, or like still you're stuck into it?
Still, I'm stuck there.
Okay, okay. So how much? How it's like how many days you're practicing Cypress? Maybe if I may.
Um,
If I,
like it's like 1 week only, not much.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, thanks for sharing. So and also
Thank
Abhi has shared, like say I can automate UI flows and end-to-end, but I cannot automate API or OTP. So it will be very helpful if you tell us how to automate emails and OTP. Okay, so I have automated two applications. Okay, so I have zero knowledge in Cypress. Looking for a change. Selenium. Okay. Yeah. So as I understand from the group, like say a few people have been practicing Cypress, and you have like say a couple of things that you need to cover on Cypress. Yeah, it's very well most welcomed actually. Yeah, so I understand like there are a couple of topics like related to email and OTP actually. So how to automate API and all those things. Yeah, that's quite interesting. So API topic is quite interesting over here as well. So we have a topic like 2 to 3 sessions on API. We have it up like how to automate, how to create a framework, and all those things. We have it up. So unfortunately, email and OTP emails we can try it with the help of Gmail actually, and OTP we won't be able to try it. I wouldn't say we won't be able to try it, but there are certain open source tools available which can trigger an email and OTP, so we can try to automate it up. Okay, so that I can assure you, but as it is an official uh, an office based or a application commercial based application, we don't have it as it is. We have like a generic application where we can send mails and do all those things like maybe this is to answer Abhi's question actually. So emails, like say we can do it in two different ways. One is like API, we can do it up JavaScript, we can use it and then automate the API part using the SMTP calls. Okay, that one we can do. But OTP, like again, there is a clause over there because like OTP, like it depends upon individual organization. So what type of things we do about it? Okay, so OTP alone I'm little bit skeptical because it depends from organization to organization. So again, yeah, we'll try to cover it up. Like whatever I can do from the OTP perspective, let me try it up. And
Hey,
as
hi Arvind. Sorry to
yeah,
disturb you.
yes,
Yeah. Yes, Abhilash here. Like I
yeah.
wanted to ask if the login is dependent on OTP.
Okay.
So
So
how
your
can we automate that?
okay. So your login is dependent on OTP. Okay. So in that case, maybe a question to you again, like say, how does the OTP you check it up? Is there any web application or it's like any messaging system available with you or a queuing system available with your side?
So right now, so this functionality, like we are using for application, mobile application. But what if
Mobile
that
application.
same functionality we use
Mhm.
for a web and like to sign up we need OTP, like we enter email ID and like email
Mhm.
ID and we click on the send button and we receive OTP. So how can we automate that?
Yeah, got it on that perspective. But the thing is, like say OTP, like say we need to analyze, like say the system how it works, because the first thing is like say when you have an OTP, when you say there is a OTP, so in the UI, some organizations which I see, like they have a UI wherein you can log in and get the OTP. The first thing. The second thing is like say there is a messaging system available, so the Kafka or something like that, a messaging queue available. So you can get that API and then you can automate it up. The second thing. So these two perspective, if it didn't work, so obviously we need to check about like what is the architecture in which they send the SMS. So we need to analyze all these three things because Cypress, as it is, it makes use of your JavaScript and then automates. But to automate an email, maybe email would be a quite easy one. We can log in through the mailbox and then check it up and then we can retrieve it out. So there is an option. But for mobile OTPs, like we need to know, like say, what type of messaging system it opens. So that is
So
one thing. Yeah.
yeah, regarding email, I just wanted to ask that
Mhm.
if I try to sign up on a web application and I enter my email ID,
Okay.
and after entering my email ID, I receive a magic link on my email.
Okay.
In that email, uh, like there will be a link. If I click on that link, so I will be navigated to
Back to
like
your
next
application.
page.
Yeah,
Yep.
got it. Yeah, yeah, that we can do, yeah, that we can do it from the script
Okay.
actually. So actually the thing is like say two ways we can do it. One thing is like say we can directly access your mailbox and then we can take that magic link, and the second way is like say through API. So we can access the mailbox through API, SMTP protocol API. We can access it without using a UI, and we can take the latest email, and then maybe by filtering it with the subject or something, we can filter it, and then we can get the body's content, email body's content, and get the magic link. So these two ways are available. We can see that as a demo. Yeah, that is possible. That's 100%
Cool.
possible.
Thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, the next one is like Rohit Jaiswal asked from Java Selenium background how it's difficult to learn Cypress. Okay, I would suggest like say I'm also from a Selenium background, so I've been practicing Selenium from the initial stage of it, maybe around from 2018 or 2017. I've been practicing Selenium. So Cypress is will be like a cakewalk for you. I would suggest it like to Rohit Jaiswal. Like it would be like an easy one, but the challenging part would be the JavaScript. Okay. So as you know, like say maybe you know about Selenium, how effective we use your Java inside your Selenium. You know about it. The same effectiveness happens to JavaScript with Cypress. Okay. So it shouldn't be a difficult if you know any automation tool. So you can relate it most probably. So obviously there might be some shortcomings with Cypress, but always we have a workaround for everything. So it shouldn't be an issue. Rohit Jaiswal, like to answer you. And to say, like I have tried the API perspective to get the OTP and I failed in the API part. Okay, maybe let's check that one as well because each company has a different OTP perspective. Maybe we can check it up as well. Yeah, no issues. Yeah, not a problem. But yeah, maybe we'll try it up. Yeah, no problem. So, there is always a solution for everything. We can just give it a try. Yeah. So thanks for all your messages. Yeah, that was really great. Yeah. So now back to your syllabus point of view. So now let's see like what and all we are going to learn about in your Cypress and what is Cypress is about as it is a tool. Okay. So as you can see it from a slide like Cypress. Okay. So it is about like it's an automation tool for your web application, but from your web application also, like say now our browsers are more intelligent enough to give the size and height of a particular device. So even your device ratio, you can check it how your application works. For example, like say when you go to your developers tool, you can I'm using a Chrome. Okay, so when you're using a Chrome or any browser, so it doesn't matter. So now everything has the feasibility. So you click on this particular three button option over here, so more tools and developer tools. When you go in, like you can see it over here, there is a small button available, toggle device toolbar. When you click it over here, you can see it it turns up your web application into a device which you can configure it over here as a dimension. So these things are basically to test your web application how it reacts inside a browser. So this is very much important part of this is something yeah. Sorry, maybe if you are not speaking, kindly unmute yourself. So, sorry, mute yourself so that nobody is getting disturbed. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, maybe let me quickly check upon it.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi.
Yes, please.
Hi. You'll be focusing on TypeScript or JavaScript
We'll be focusing on JavaScript. So TypeScript has not yet been that popular as JavaScript from
in the
the
market?
Cypress perspective. So we'll be moving on with JavaScript. Yeah.
How is the good in market right now? Cypress or Selenium is in the market?
Selenium is always an unbeatable stuff actually, but now there is a slight competition from the industry perspective. So whenever there is a Selenium, there is a comparison between Cypress and your Playwright. So these three tools are like say a major dominant in your industry currently. Okay,
I can
So
answer
so
which
this
one is
question.
first right now? Selenium or Playwright is the
Uh,
first one?
I can answer
yes,
the
please,
question
yes,
to an
please,
extent,
yeah,
Arvind.
please, yeah, please,
Seli
please.
Yep. predominantly now most of the web development is moving towards Angular JavaScript. So if it is an Angular JavaScript web development system, so it's Cypress that is more preferred as as the automation tool from my
Okay.
experience, because in Angular JavaScript development, your elements or your web elements and objects keep changing dynamically. So in that case, Selenium, you can still do it with Selenium, but Selenium with Java or Selenium with Python or C# or whatever. But there are a lot of restrictions or refactoring involved with that. So Cypress is one of the tool automation frameworks which is emerging now in the market. So
Okay.
it's still in the initial stages. But there are in the UK, I can see quite a lot of job opportunities for Cyprus at the moment.
What about Canada?
No
Yeah,
Do you
idea.
have any? Okay.
No idea.
actually,
Sorry.
when you take the western part of it, right? So most probably now people are more inclined towards the JavaScript. So as
Okay.
I think like Sri, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So
You're right.
he said like say US, UK, and parts of European countries, everything moving towards the JavaScript programming language, and the web application as you see it nowadays, right? It's mostly Angular, and they
Mm-hmm.
from Angular they have moved towards your React JS. So
Okay.
basically, taking that also into consideration, like Cypress will be a very good fit tool for all your web applications because
I have other
initially,
question.
yeah, yes, please, yeah.
I have other question like learning
Mhm.
Selenium is easy, learning Cypress is easy comparatively like a Java coding and all.
Coding, I think it depends. Like previously, like any coding language you are aware of it or you have learnt it.
Actually, I worked on VB scripting, QTP like
Okay.
6 years ago.
Then I think JavaScript should be like easy for you because most probably like to start off with any language, right? Like maybe
Mm-hmm.
from the perspective, like a fresher perspective, or like say learning a new language perspective, like the whichever maybe you can see like from my experience, I started to learn with C sharp, then I moved
Okay.
towards Java, then I moved towards JavaScript. So if you see this particular migration, right? So
Mm-hmm.
C sharp I always compare with Java. Now I
Okay.
always compare Java with JavaScript. So it is
Okay. Which
always
one is
like
easy?
language
Java or
will be.
JavaScript is easy.
I would say like JavaScript is very easy to learn. Yeah,
Okay.
JavaScript is very easy to learn. And Java as well now, more or less, it's almost a more like say Java has given a release on 20 version, I think. Java 20, I think it is available. JDK JRE 20 is available. I think now if you compare JavaScript and Java, like say Java is more inclined towards like a clean coding concept, as in JavaScript, like say the symbols, lambda expressions, everything are coming into
Mm-hmm.
picture to Java. So that means like they are getting influenced by JavaScript and your Python. So JavaScript, like say, it's influencing a lot of programming language. So I would say
Okay.
like it's best to learn the top language. Maybe from my knowledge, like the topmost language available is like Python, and after that
Mm-hmm.
comes your JavaScript. So from the testing perspective, again, like JavaScript is a good way to start about because Java anytime you can learn about it's like very easy one, but
Okay.
JavaScript it's like pretty new to the entire world as well. Maybe it's like
Mm-hmm.
a pretty new language, it's not an age old language like Java. So it's a pretty new language as a JavaScript because it started all with Angular, maybe way
Mm-hmm.
back in if I am not wrong, it's way back in 2015 or something. A JavaScript was becoming popular, and still
Okay.
then it's been very strong competitor between Python and JavaScript. So always there is a tough competition between these two language, and ruling out Java because Java always secures the third spot now in any programming language. So first comes Python and then JavaScript and then Java.
That
So
means like Cypress is better to learn than Selenium. That's what your opinion.
yeah, exactly. Because when you see Selenium, like it's been more than a decade old. That's what I can
Mm-hmm.
see from the Selenium, and there has been a significant improvement as well. But when it comes to like say certain concepts like Shadow DOM and influence of your Angular and React applications, taking these things into consideration, it's always best to go with the latest technology, which is Cypress.
Okay. And
So
Cypress is how many years into the market right now? It's 2 years. It's
No,
more
no, no.
than.
It's been quite a long time. Yeah, it's been quite a long time. Cyprus, it's been quite long time. I think like it's been like more than 5 years. Cyprus is into the industry, but
Okay.
quite recently it has been more active due to the thanks to the community that they have it. So they've been using a lot of cloud technologies within Cyprus. Means like say
Mhm.
Cypress Cloud. I mean, okay. So you can even log in with the Cypress Cloud, and you can have a lot of running and playing with your test cases without even closing your browser. So that is the first advantage that your Cypress bought, which made Selenium to come down. Because Selenium, when you see it, right, like you can automate a complete flow, but in
Mhm.
case if it breaks down in between, so you need to again start from your starting. But Cypress is
Okay.
not that. In case if your test case fails in between when you run your Cypress, you can
Mhm.
still start from where it has been ended.
And
So you
it's a
don't need
free tool or it's an open source tool, Cypress?
Cypress is an open source tool, but to a certain extent only. When you want to opt for the cloud based options, so it becomes a little pricey.
So you'll be covering the cloud one also into this course?
Yeah, to a certain extent, because
Okay.
now quite recently they have released your Cypress 13 version. So in that 13 version we have like say a concept of replay test actually. So that we need to cover it up. So if that concept we need to cover, we need to log in through the Cypress cloud. So
Okay.
that's the reason we'll be covering a part of a cloud, not completely, because few things are like say are cost based. So
Okay.
usually why we don't cover the cost base is like say now industry is moving in such a way like only like open source tool they are accepting it because they want to reduce the cost for testing. So again, if they want to pay for that cost, they would have kept your UFT itself, Unified Test Foundation.
Okay.
So that's why like
So,
to keep cost
mhm.
down, they use an open source tool. Yeah.
What framework you'll be covering here? Cucumber or which
We
framework?
We'll be covering both the frameworks as well. So we'll be covering Cypress as it is a framework, how the reporting is done, how the page object model is done, and all these things. And
Okay.
also we'll be integrating Cucumber as well. For integrating Cucumber, we'll have two packages. One is like say Cypress preprocessor, and another one is like say Cypress preprocessor baddie ball. That package will be covering it up because like say when you go to an industry, since it's like a 5 years old tool, you need to know
Mhm.
both the packages, so that you
Okay.
need to know the advantage and disadvantage of both the packages. So that's why we cover both the packages as part of Cucumber integration.
Okay.
So we'll be checking Cucumber integration and normal Cypress as well.
And we'll be covering Jenkins also into this, running into the
Yes,
Jenkins,
yes,
a browser
yes,
tag.
yes. Yeah, what we'll do it is like say if you see the structure of the our course, like first
Mm-hmm.
we'll start with the JavaScript, then we go
Mm-hmm.
to the Cypress and how to handle the UI elements and
Mm-hmm.
how to identify the locators and how to use the plugins available in Cypress. We'll be
Mm-hmm.
testing only the official plugins. So
Mm-hmm.
customized plugins we don't test it up because some industries don't accept it due to the vulnerability and security issues. And
Mm-hmm.
then we'll be moving towards your framework part, your page object model and Cucumber, and
Mm-hmm.
then we'll be integrating it with your Git. Okay, we'll be putting the code inside your Git repository,
Okay.
how to use the Git from the Visual Studio Code, not the
Mm-hmm.
command prompt. For command
Mm-hmm.
prompt, it's self-learning based. I've prepared a document, so it's
Mm-hmm.
not a tough one. Like say 5 commands or 6 commands would be available. Just you need to
Mm-hmm.
trigger it and check it up.
Okay.
And once put it inside the Git, we'll be checking the runs inside the Jenkins. So integrating Git with the Jenkins. And
Okay.
once we're done with that, again we'll be coming back to the Docker concept. So
Mm-hmm.
where like we are going to create an image for your Cypress and then run it inside the Docker and then
Mm-hmm.
get the results out.
Okay. So you'll be covering in depth or like high level?
It will be in depth on this. High level means like we can't see much of the things. So we'll be starting from the installation, creating a job, and
Mhm.
running the scripts, and how to see the reports. Everything we'll be checking it up
No, no,
from the test.
advanced. We'll be covering an advanced level or like just intermediate level. That's what I'm asking
We'll
you.
be covering the advanced level, but Jenkins, as it is, we won't cover every part of Jenkins because the time is will be a constraint. So
No,
to create a
Jenkins
job,
also Jenkins also very important. No, like we need to run like a batch
yeah, yeah,
process.
yeah, yeah. That will be there. That will be there. Jenkins creating a job, pre-processor, post-processor, and integration of Git,
Hmm.
Node.js. Everything
And
will be covering.
pipelines in the Jenkins.
Pipeline we won't cover it up actually because we need to integrate it with an Azure or AWS or something. So we don't
It will
cover the
be
pipeline
helpful
part.
actually. The interview point will be mostly on pipelines. No.
From automation perspective, pipeline it they will touch base only 10%
Okay.
because they don't because that's the job of a DevOps engineer. So we'll be giving
Hmm.
only the Git repository to the DevOps actually, and
Okay.
we'll be providing the command line to the DevOps actually, and
Hmm.
then they'll be using that the Git repository to integrate wherever the test case is required. For example, when a developer puts your code into your dev
Hmm.
environment, from dev it goes to your SIT. So we don't build the pipeline basically. We are just an
Okay.
automation engineer. So the
Okay.
DevOps engineer will ask for a Git repository and what
Hmm.
command you need to execute it as part of your automation script. So till that level, we'll be supporting it up, and after
Okay.
that, it will be taken forward by DevOps.
Okay.
So
Okay.
creation of
Mhm.
we don't do it up, but as it is from a Jenkins perspective, we'll be running the
Mhm.
jobs actually. Yeah, that we'll be doing it up.
TypeScript, you're going to go source like some samples on it, little bit
Uh,
at least, or
Sorry to
just
disturb again.
Yeah, yes, please.
Uh,
TypeScript, you're going to source little bit.
Actually, we haven't started yet,
TypeScript.
and it seems like communication. So could you please start teaching us? Like
The,
it's
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
almost 9:45.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, maybe at the last we'll have some Q&A. Maybe at
Okay,
the
cool.
time we'll answer all the questions. Yeah,
Okay,
sorry
cool.
about that.
Thank you. So, okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was
Sorry
kept
for,
by the
yeah.
questions. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's see about it over here. So this is a viewport actually, so that I was talking about. If you want to check your application on a different device, so we can get the viewport over here, and then we can still automate it with a Cypress. So you don't need a real device to automate it up. So these things it's like an approved one. So in any way, any browser, if you go like even a Firefox, if you go, you can find these options available. So again, go to the more tools and web developer tools. You can get it up over here. Okay, you can see that option over here. So again, you have some different combinations of how your application will look like in each device. Okay, so this should be feasible altogether. So sometimes there will be a usability testing, so your Cypress will support it. So we are not going to go over here and do it. So there is an option in Cypress which we call it as a viewport, in which you can uh, do these things about. Okay, it will be an easy way. So it's a very simple way. So as it is, when you consider as a Cypress, it's a very easy tool. Okay, and we can automate the web application and the API as well, and it's an open source tool. So I have not included your cloud over here, so that's why I mentioned it as an open source tool. And the Cypress version we are going to learn about is like say 13. So that's the latest one, stable one. And the coding language supported will be your JavaScript and TypeScript for your Cypress, but will be more focused into your JavaScript part because that is the maybe I would say a popular language used with Cypress, where you a lot of interview questions into it. And to move on to anything, okay, yeah, muted. Yeah, thank you. So to comparison perspective, like say between your Cypress, Playwright, and Selenium, this is a slide for you. So all the three tools are open source. So when I say open source, it's free of cost. You can use it on a go. And languages supported, Cypress supports your JavaScript and your TypeScript, and your Playwright supports your TypeScript, JavaScript, Python, .NET, and Java. So everything. And Selenium, as you know, it's like a very wide language. Like it has a lot of support for all the languages. And the editor that we are going to use is like say for Cypress VS Code, but the Playwright it supports VS Code, IntelliJ. So your Selenium supports Eclipse and IntelliJ. And installation part of your Cypress basically it's a node or npm, and Playwright is again the same node or npm, and Selenium it's a standalone server. Basically it's a Java jar file. And the framework we use for your Cypress is nothing but your we have a native runner available for your Cypress, which is built by Mocha and Chai. Okay. And then we have the Playwright. So Playwright has a different set of frameworks altogether. So we have the Playwright test, Jest, Jasmine, Mocha, vi test. For Selenium again we have a lot of frameworks, TestNG, JUnit, NUnit, predominantly being used by the industry. And the browser support, so I would say like all the tools supports every browsers. So that is when you say browser support, there are two things, head and headless version. Head is nothing but your physical browser. Headless is nothing but your invisible browser where it runs only in your background. Okay. So all the three things supports every stuffs. Okay, over here. So, the only upper part your Cypress takes into picture is like say synchronous and asynchronous calls. So basically your Cypress is an asynchronous, and you can make it synchronous as well. Okay. So when I say asynchronous, uh, basically it will be helpful whenever there is a something like say you pass on a request and the response maybe it's taking a time to receive it. So usually it happens in your automation, maybe whoever used your Selenium you would have experienced it. Like say it takes some time for the page to load, and in the meantime what your Selenium does, basically it throws you an exception, but your Cypress doesn't throw your exception within 60 to 120 seconds whatever you configure for. So there is a certain time limit available for it, it will wait and then only it will throw you the action. Okay. So basically all your Cypress calls are asynchronous calls. Okay. So your automation will be more stable and more time will be given from the scripting perspective than your application perspective. Okay. And coming to the installation part of it, so we use your Node.js for your installation inside your Cypress, and these are the commands usually we use it up: npm init, npm install Cypress, and all these things. And the compatibility perspective, like it is compatible with Mac, Linux, Windows, whatever you name it, it is compatible. Okay, so no need to worry about the compatibility issues of your Cypress. And this is the architecture, or how does your Cypress work about. Okay. So this is the okay. Somebody's just a minute. Let me mute them. Kindly mute yourself if you are not speaking, please. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Yeah. Okay, so this is the architecture part of it. So your browser is available, your Node.js is available. So inside your Node.js only we have the package called Cypress, and it has a proxy server available, and any operating system it works into it, and usually it works as a request and your response. Okay, so your browser is available, you send your request to your browser via Cypress, and then it comes back for it. Okay, so it's like a mostly like a asynchronous call. So why I tell it as an asynchronous is like say meanwhile waiting for an object, it goes to your next object and validates it and keeps it ready, so that there is no validation required for the next steps to come in. So that's why I call it as an asynchronous. So when the call comes back, basically it validates and it works it out fine. So whenever you feel like say your application is slow, I think like Cypress is the best way to use it up. So at least you can keep some validations ready before your call is getting succeeded or failed. Okay. And interacting with elements. Okay, so your Cypress can validate anything: your text box, checkbox, radio button, tables, drop down, window handling, and alerts and pop-ups, scrolling within a page, So anything you name it, it will be handling it up. So there is no issues in handling your Cypress. So, and maybe to add it up, so iframe or frame, so maybe if something comes up, iframe or frame, and file upload, download, everything you can do it up over here, so there won't be any issues. Okay. And then what are the assertions that we get it as part of your Cypress? So these are the sample assertions that we use it up, like should, and expect, sorry, except. Okay, so this is one sample we use it up. This is how, giving you a heads up how your coding will be available as part of Cypress in JavaScript. Okay. And these are the logs that we use it up, cy.log, and then you pass your message. Okay. And then we have the Cypress terminologies actually. So we have something called a package.json. So package.json is the main thing in your Cypress. Okay. So if you have used by any chance your Cypress lesser than 9 version, like you might know the importance of cypress.package and cypress index.js file. Okay. So package.json is where all your dependencies comes into picture. I would compare your package.json with your Maven or your Gradle. Okay. So here only all your packages will be coming into or storing it up over here. So it is always a very important one. So it's better not to delete these things in from your Cypress structure. Okay. And coming to the JavaScript part, so let me quickly pull in the slides over here. So from the JavaScript part, we have quite a lot of items available for discussions. So this JavaScript we learn is from basics till your intermediary concept. So there might be a question like why intermediary? Because JavaScript, when you say like if you want to learn the advanced one, it takes a lot of time. But as it is, as a QA tester, we don't need all those things for us to do it about. So we need some loops, we need to know like how to handle it up and all those things. For example, like say maybe let's consider an example, like say when you want to test the concurrency of your application. So when I what I mean by concurrency is like say for example maybe you might have used some Paytm or something, you have a voucher code. So assume like say your Paytm is giving you a voucher code and you need to share with 3 people. So assume a scenario you're sharing with 4 people. Okay. So I want to do this in a different test cases. Like say for example, what happens if everyone uses the same code at the same instance of time? And what happens if everyone uses the same code at a different instance of time with an interval gap of 10 seconds? And what happens if I load the particular user with a lot of coupon codes? What happens at the same time? So these are all the question comes into picture, so which makes it importance of your JavaScript with your Cypress. So whatever you're going to learn in your JavaScript, it's going to be your foundation of your interviews. Because an interviewer, when he comes in, he doesn't ask for you like say how you write your scripts in, how you handle your scripts in Cypress. So the first thing is like he is going to test your analytical skills and your programming skills. So your JavaScript will play a major role. So there you cannot tell like say I know only Java or C sharp or something like that. So Cypress works with JavaScript, so obviously you need to know your JavaScript. So that is the only tagline. So we need to know from basics till how you can automate all these things. So we have some lot of couple of concepts like how to write your JavaScript in different ways, like inside your HTML, in how to run it inside your VS Code and everything. So from the basics we'll be going about, and then we'll have the loop statements, and we have the JavaScript arrays. So array is a very big concept actually, but we have tried to minimize it, and that means like say minimize in the sense what are the effective ways to use it up, we have using it. And then JS function. So function again, it's a very important concept. We have like 5 different types of functions that we can create with the help of JavaScript. So we'll be seeing all those 5 different functions. So everything is a simple one. So how we use it makes it the complexity. Okay, and the usage of it, and what is the object. So what do we do with an object, we can see it about. And this is a small representation of how a function will be looking like. Okay, so these are the different ways, 5 different ways, so we'll be seeing that one as well. And okay, and to move on, like say we have the oops concept in your JavaScript. So obviously your JavaScript may be a scripting language, but time and again they have improved, and there is some oops concept also applicable. Okay, so we'll be seeing that one as well. So what is class, inheritance, encapsulation, JavaScript prototype, abstraction, polymorphism, exception handling, and how to create your own exceptions. Okay, so that also will be handling it up. Because when you try to create a framework, so if a company wants you to create your own exception and then put it as part of your failing process or a fail proof process, so we need to still know about how to create it up. Okay, so we'll be checking that one as well. And how to read and write in JavaScript, so it's going to be play a major part. Because reading and writing, it's not only limited towards your text file. So when you come to Cypress, we need to know more about your JSON actually. So JavaScript object notation, so all your data will be put inside a JSON, or all your request response nowadays it's coming it as a JSON. So you need to know how to handle your JSON. So how to retrieve a particular data from a JSON. So inside a JSON, what is an array, how to handle it up. And what is JSON, like say array inside an array, an object inside an object. So how to handle these things, you need to know about it. So this will help you in the perspective of API testing for you. And that's why we have this concept. And then we have, like say, how to store the particular items inside your JavaScript. A map and a set is available, obviously. In JavaScript, these things are, map and set are very inferior when compared to your array. So always will be sticking on to your array, because they a very flexible concept in JavaScript. And once you start to learn JavaScript, you will become more interested towards it, because it's such a type of language, like it makes you to work more. And then we have like 2 concepts which is specifically we are covering from the interview perspective. Like say, what is promise and intro to promise. And okay, so I think that slide is gone. And then we have, like say, JS, we have async await concept, we have it up. So your promise and async await, like say, more or less it's like a opposite poles, like a north and a south. So we need to learn about both the things as well. So this is about the JavaScript. And then we have a couple of documentations available, so which I'll be sharing it to you once we are into the sessions actually. So we have a lot of documentations which you can go through, a lot of features that is available. To be an example, what is stub inside a Cypress, and all these 4 concepts we'll be learning about it. Stub, intercept, spy, clock, each one has an example, and how to implement it up. From the framework perspective, hooks concept, reusability, and command.js, everything will be using it up. And how to parameterize and use the data, we'll be using it. And page object form is nothing but your page object model, how to use it up. And configuration JSON. So this is one more interesting concept, how to take a screenshot, videos, and retries. Okay, retries means, like say, how to execute your test case more than once if there is an inconsistency in a specific test case, how to do it up. And CLI command lines, most probably, because this is what you're going to get used to it inside your pipelines. So your DevOps is going to ask about only this one, not about how you are going to execute it inside your own machine. So this is also, like say, we need to take it care of it. And obviously your Cucumber implementation and API testing. Okay, this is going to be an extension of cy.intercept, and CI/CD, GitHub, and Docker concept will be running it. Okay, So Docker with Cypress. So that's one specific concept. And again, maybe to explicitly split it out. So GitHub with Cypress, and also we can have it as a Jenkins with so all our individual topics. So we'll be covering it as well. So everything. So and solid some part of, like, say, when we go to the framework concept, we'll be covering solid principles with few examples, not all. Okay, because from interview perspective you need to know. Okay, and these are the commands, few commands that we'll be using it up, and plugins will be using it up. Okay, and these are the API testing which is available. Okay, so we'll be checking all these things. Okay, there are a couple of more things inside the bag for Cypress automation, so we'll be seeing everything. Okay, end to end. So this is the day wise what we are going to do about once we get into Cypress, not your JavaScript. So JavaScript we have a separate documentations, everything is available. So this is all I had for today as an introduction, like what and how is your Cypress is available. So maybe it's a floor for Q&A, so feel free to ask about. If you feel like it's fine for you, you can drop off and we can join tomorrow as well. So we'll be continuing with the implementation of setup and JavaScript tomorrow.
Arvind, have a question.
Yes, please.
What's the duration of this course? Uh,
Yeah, duration it's like 30 hours we have it up. Okay, for the full
Okay.
course. So we'll be completely occupied with the 30 hours for the course. Yeah, and
Okay.
it's a
And you'll
weekday
do
course.
all weekdays.
Yeah, weekdays, all 5 days, 1 hour each day. So we'll be covering it.
Okay.
Sometimes it may exceed more than an hour, maybe 1 hour 15 minutes or something. So not more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it from the duration
Hi
perspective.
Arvind,
Yeah, yes,
can you
please.
please record your each session and start sharing on group?
Yeah, definitely that will be done. Yes, that will be done. So today I was
It
in a
will be
hurry,
very
so
useful for us.
yeah. It will be done. I think, like, when you go to YouTube's, right? Maybe I can show you the previous sessions actually, but it is only for a limited access actually. Whoever enrolls it, they get the access it up. So maybe just to show you, like, this is how we upload it up. Okay, so you get a playlist over here, so you can play all the courses over here. So, oh, maybe I'm not signed in, I'm sorry. So that's why, again, as I told you, it's like a permission basis. Okay, so I think for Chrome I have it, so you can see all the courses available over here. So it will be shared on a daily basis actually, so you can easily access it up, yeah, whenever you require it. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Yeah, can you hear me? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, Arvin, is this possible if we can have the class 1 hour earlier?
An hour earlier, maybe apologize for it. I An hour later we can have, but earlier it's not possible because my office. I'm currently into, like, Qatar region, so it's like and my office drops in around like 6 o'clock. So it takes some time, at least like 15-20 minutes to reach my home and then take up the session.
Okay, so can it be like 1 hour after that?
Yeah, that's fine, but we need to discuss that with Isha team actually. So I need to
Okay.
check on that.
Uh,
Yeah.
that will be a problem for us. Uh, okay. So if everyone is okay, then it's fine. Then I'll look into other options. But yeah, my predominantly I've looked into this because this time suits us in the UK quite well. Most of the courses which
Mhm.
Kumar Isha runs are usually early hours
I,
for our UK time, so it's not really
that's,
feasible. And later in the evenings is also not possible for us
yeah,
always.
sure.
So
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. If
yeah.
everyone else is okay with it, I don't have any problems. I'll look for other alternative options. But yeah,
Actually, we have like
depends on
different
the
timings.
majority.
Yeah, we have some different timings. We can explore on that. Maybe which time zone you're into? Maybe I know like
Yeah, I'm half an hour earlier than yours. Like
half an
if
hour.
I think, yeah, it's 9:38 at my side.
9:38 night time, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but
Okay, then
actually,
it's good.
yeah, actually, I've heard a lot about this course, and then especially
Mm.
from the internet. So I'm
Okay.
very much interested, but actually there is some kind of issue during that time. So, which is why I'm just requesting you to, if you could just tease it, adjust the time.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Maybe we'll. Maybe I'll try to discuss with the team. Actually, maybe we'll have another timing apart from this timing. So yeah, because this is I think like this is has been established actually in the website. So I don't think so. They might be changing it, but we can see about the alternative timings as well, which suits you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah. Thank you. So maybe any other questions before we call for a day?
Yeah, I have a question. Like, is it possible to automate Microsoft like email for the login with the website using Cypress?
Yeah, yeah, we can do. That shouldn't be a
And
problem.
also, it sends an OTP to the mobile number, or else we have to use the authenticator, like auth code. We have to approve it. So, like, uh,
Okay, okay. So I've tried doing the Google Authenticator. Maybe similar perspective, we can try the Microsoft Authenticator, but it's
o-
only through the API. It's only through the API, not through the front end.
okay, okay,
Yeah, we can try the possibilities. Yeah, maybe I'll try to explore because Google Authenticator, I've done it previously. Maybe in the similar manner, there should be something for a Microsoft Authenticator as well.
yeah,
We can
okay.
try it up. We can try it up. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And also the timing, current timing is really very flexible for the people who are living in India. Like,
Yeah.
please don't change it because if it is
Yeah,
another 1 hour later, it will be like,
more delayed for you. Yeah, I understand it.
yeah,
Yeah, actually, this timing it's completely published actually, so it won't change. But there would be like alternative timings for in case like people in US or UK, some people like maybe the person who spoke before, right? And maybe
yeah.
for them we can work out a different timing, but not to this batch, a different batch. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I think somebody raised the hand. Maybe who's it up? Maybe. So I think I'm unable to unmute. Allowed to unmute. Oh, okay. Fine.
Hi,
Maybe feel.
hi. This is Sri again.
Yeah, yes, please. Yeah.
I have a question. Like for mobile testing, we'll be using like a Selenium, we are using APM, no Java like that. For Cypress,
Yes.
something else.
Cypress as it is, it doesn't support mobile application. So that's why we have that viewport concept, which I was insisting over here in the inspect tool. So it supports
Okay,
for now only the web application. So mobile native applications, like for example, from a Play Store or a App Store, it doesn't support. So only your web application inside a Chrome browser device, we can check it up.
okay. For we can't do mobile then. No mobile
Yeah, Cypress
testing.
doesn't support mobile. Yes, Cypress doesn't support mobile.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so any doubts so far till now? Like, or we can call it for a day and then we can meet again tomorrow the same time.
When the class starts?
We'll be starting tomorrow. Yeah, today was a demo session, so just to give you an intro on your Cypress, and starting tomorrow we'll have a full-fledged session going forward. Yeah,
When did
tomorrow.
we
How
need
we
to
will get
pay? when we need to pay in case interested, like we have time 2 or 3 days after class we need to pay, or like right
Yeah,
away we
I
need to.
think we'll have a time slot, I think 1 or 2 sessions, and after that the session move towards a private room, so that only after the payment you'll be able to attend it. So that's how usually they have it. So you'll get some time, actually 2 3 days, I guess, actually over the weekend. I think maybe by Monday or Tuesday they'll make it a private session, I think. Yeah, most probably
Okay.
that's how they have
Okay.
like the free demo session for 2 3 days, and then they
Okay.
make it as a private one. Yeah.
Okay.
How we will get today's recording?
Oh yeah, by tomorrow you'll be getting it maximum. By tomorrow 9 or 10 max. They'll be
Like
posting
they
it
will
in the
ping in the group.
same WhatsApp group. They'll be pinging it.
Okay, Erwin, I have one more question. Can you
Please.
please tell me what other badge timings will be like? Will there be any other badge, and will you be teaching in that badge as well?
Yeah, hopefully yes, but I need to discuss on the timing. I am not yet sure because so far we have the previous batch was like say half an hour later, so it's like my Doha timing 7 to 8, but this is a bit early, like say 6:30 to 7:30. So maybe on your request, maybe let me get back to you. So I'm also not sure. So if a certain batch has a certain limit of people, like they'll be creating it up. Maybe I'll take this
Oh,
as a request and I'll post it as well. And you can also reach out to Mr. Kumar or Anita for like
okay.
maybe a query. Maybe, yeah, you can also reach it out. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, so maybe thank you for attending the session. Thanks for your time. Hopefully, have a great evening and have a good night and good evening as well. Yeah, thank you guys. Hope to see you tomorrow. Have a good day.